Alright. He'll eventually work his way out of there. Let's fight him over here. Yeah, he's having no problem taking walls down. No problem whatsoever taking walls down. Fight him in the windowsill? He's probably just going to knock the wall down instead of climbing through the window. I want to have him punch me directly back, not at an angle down into the pool. Yeah, he's just going to punch his way through. Alright, how far is that tree? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so is where we landed last time. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're not on the straight line to the tree. As long as he doesn't deviate, we shouldn't hit a wall or anything. Alright, so pain has not dropped my strength yet. Our weight, carry weight is not an issue. That's why we took a preemptive painkiller. Another tip and trick for combat situations. No, don't shift your damn direction. God damn it. I don't want to land on the concrete. I want to land on grass. There we go. We're 15 away from that window. And I think his super punch is going to be fully recharged. So we're likely to go flying again. Quick strike. Quick strike. So, there you go. That's the advantage to careful planning. A blow from the Relentless Hulk sends you flying, you land on the grass. No damage. We're not knocked down. This is why you plan for these things. So, so, so important. If you're careful about your positioning and you know what you're facing, that kind of an opportunity or saving of damage and pain is really, really important. It's also incredibly good at helping you escape these kinds of encounters for newer players that haven't seen me do this kind of stuff before. Anytime I'm fighting an opponent, especially if I'm in a really dangerous situation, I use the super punch as a tactical maneuver opportunity. I don't consider it a danger. I consider it an opportunity to catapult myself 12 spaces in my direction of choosing. So you can use this to get away from enemies. If normally this guy would kill you in a straight-up fight, knowing that he's going to super punch you away from himself, you can prepare for it, hopefully set the encounter angles up in such a way that he punches you in a direction that's to your benefit. Like closer to cover that you can use to get away from him or whatever. But take advantage of it. Understand that it's an opportunity as well as a danger. Okay. Famously executed multiple times during the, was it the first Vorm versus Viewers event? There was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth when I kept escaping their ambushes by selective tactical launching of my body via super punches. Good times, good times. Is Chest Hole still working on his tiles? Oof, not for like a decade. There hasn't been a Chest Hole update, at least since I started playing, which was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I don't know how far before that it was getting updated. Okay, so we're learning. So far, the only thing I've really seen out of him is the super punch. So it seems like he's a Hulk with regen. He's a Hulk with regen that knows where you're at. So we've kind of narrowed down his tracking ability. I think the last thing I'm really curious about is his reacquire time frame. So if I just leave now, go to a new spot, and then hang out and wait for him, I'm curious how long it takes him to reacquire me. And if I just keep moving, does distance make a difference? Or does he just get picked up, teleported, whatever distance, and then dropped back into your area? But so far, it seems like you could easily run him over in a vehicle. Honestly. It seems like you could just get in a car and just run his ass over. Is that a new mansion layout? No, this one's been around for a long time. It's the pool mansion. Sometimes there's an indoor pool in one of the corners, but this one's got the mid-courtyard pool. It's been in for quite a while. Okay, but yeah, I haven't seen anything in melee combat beyond a fair amount of armor. Not an obscene amount. I mean, we're doing 8 points of damage, 12 points of damage with a kukri. So, I mean, it's not super excessive. He's not a Skelljug armor level or anything like that. He just has not quite Shoggoth level healing. Maybe... no, it doesn't even feel as much as Mole Rat. I think it's a little bit... it's either equal to or a little below Mole Rat level healing. It's definitely not Shoggoth level healing. It's not that high. So other than his regen rate, which is a problem if you don't know how to deal with it. Other than that... yeah, I think a car could probably pretty easily mow him down. So, I don't know. I'm not as scared of him in melee or in combat. The worry would be him catching you unawares in certain locations where you can't use terrain or a building or stairs and so on to mitigate his other advantages. With the mansion here and my ability and knowledge to maneuver, this is an easy encounter for me. But I am curious about the Molotovs. I wish I remembered where I put my Molotovs. I'd like to see how he does. If I could keep him in a couple of pools of Molotovs. Like if I laid down a stack of 3 Molotovs and then had him walk through the entire stack, what his health would be by the time he got to the end of the stack. The task force, way tougher than this guy. Way tougher. Yeah, they're in totally different leagues. At the bed downstairs, well, it wasn't at that bed downstairs. I thought I checked this one, but maybe not. Maybe we'll run over there and check real quick. I thought I had checked this one, the upstairs, and the kitchen. I couldn't remember where else I might have dropped it. So yeah, this guy's nowhere near the league of the task force. All right, so we're at speed 97. He is fast, and he can go right through the walls, so he's faster than me just straight up walking, so I can't just walk away from him, I don't think. But he's not obscenely faster. That's a fair clip. Actually, I haven't tested the Heelys yet either. I need to see if the Heelys make enough of a difference that I can keep ahead of him in Heelys. But I gotta be careful of my stamina. Let's go check for... yeah, there's no Molotovs over here. No Molotovs in this room. I was waiting for that to happen right below me. That'd be a fun way to rejoin the fight. Eventually he'll trash the entire mansion. So. Couldn't Bionic Assassin drop this guy day one? Sure. Why is that a question? I could easily make a bunch of characters that could drop this guy on day one. If you're playing hyper advanced, overpowered characters, why are you wondering if you can drop something like this? The game's not designed to balance around those stupid high-end characters. And you're also already using mods if you're taking a Bionic Assassin, because the Bionics are no longer professions, are no longer in the base game. So you're modding a super powerful character in and then killing something. Not impressed. Alright, so what was I going to check? Now I got distracted. Yeah, you have to enable a Bionic Professions mod in order to get the Bionic Professions back in. Not part of base game. Took it out a while back. Yeah, what was I going to test? I totally forgot now. I lost him for a reason. There was no Molotovs. My train of thought has wrecked. Not checking melee anymore. Oh yeah, testing Heelys. That's the one. I gotta get back downstairs. There were no stairs on this side of the building. Ran too far. Just want to set up a movement test where I'm far enough away that I can kind of gauge the distance. So let's go ahead and turn the Heelys on here. Hey there, Heelys. Where are you, buddy? Down there. That'll do. Maybe I can walk around the pool. So it's costing me 108 to move a space on the sidewalk with the Heelys wheels engaged. So my Heelys are on. I'm not quite full strength because of a little tiny bit of pain, or painkillers. We actually have no pain, we just have the painkillers effect slowing us down. So we're dropped from 98, or from 100 to 98. Close enough. It's hard to tell if I'm faster than him. I need to get him on a straight line. And enough distance that I can actually figure it out. Nah, I better not activate anything. He's too close. I don't know how long it's going to take. Actually, the headlamp should be quick. Yeah. Okay, so he's 5 spaces away currently. I've got mostly my full speed, so I'm just a generic character. I have no movement speed bonuses of any kind, other than parkour, which we're not using at the moment. So, yeah, we're not using the parkour because we're on flat ground. But no traits that are increasing my speed or my movement rate or anything like that. So, base average character in Heelys. Do we hold the distance between us and this wall right here? So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to move 7 spaces and see if we maintain this distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He stopped around there. Not quite a fair comparison. 6, 7. He's still faster than us because he actually stopped around, well, I'm not sure he actually stopped, or did he move and swing? It still would have cost him some action points. I think he's still a hair faster than us. This is, of course, also with us at max stamina, so we're not losing any speed or having any increase in our movement cost due to stamina problems. So with a few barriers and slowing him down, we're gaining ground. Yeah, the diagonal movements are also costing him some time as he does his meandering movement. Let's go back. Let's go outside and we'll do what I normally never do, which is go out into the open when something like this is chasing me. But I think we have enough close movement advantage that I can turn the sprint on and still avoid him. But I want to see how he reacts going around. He's catching me there. So, the vehicle slowed him down as it should. Alright, he's about to get moving fast again. Now the problem is if I go around this vehicle this way, the Heelys are going to slow me down dramatically as I hit the grass. We've already tested the Heelys earlier. It's like 880 movement points in order to flip the wheels up and down. So definitely can't do that. So I need to scoot around him here beforehand. He does not have super arms, though. No long arms, so I don't have to worry about getting punched from 2 or 3 spaces away. And we'll put him back in the vehicle. And we got our lead again. So yeah, he's still technically faster than me a little bit. The occasional diagonal movement is about evening it up. So, I don't know. I think with Heelys and full stamina, a player should have a pretty good shot of getting away from him. But as soon as you've got pain involved, as soon as you've got stamina loss involved, the pain will drop your speed, the stamina loss will increase your movement cost. So you'll have less points to spend, and it'll cost more per movement to actually move. So you're getting a double whammy effect. You're getting hit from both ends of that equation. So that causes a rapidly narrowing window of opportunity for the player. So this is about the absolute best case scenario. And if you've got a not best case scenario, you're probably going to be in for a bit of a hurting. He's going through walls, no problem and all that. So Alright. Losing him would be no problem. So I could just move back into the mansion, lure him to the south end, and then just run out the north. And I do want to test that. So I think what I'll do is let's take a trip. Let's take a trip over to the junkyard. We'll clear the junkyard if there's any zombies there, and then we'll hang out and we'll see how long it takes them to arrive. Actually, I'm gonna hang out right here at the intersection. I want to see what happens when I just stand in the middle of an open area waiting for him. I don't want to stand there in the dark. Yeah, alright, so let's, he's gonna trash an awful lot of this place while I dork around with him. A little bit of stamina. Get up these stairs before we bust them. So, ideally, I arrange it so he can't see me. Whoops! I saw his name flash on briefly. So we should be out of reality bubble range here pretty quick. Turn the headlamp off. Well, that wouldn't have been fun to run into while he was chasing me. Of course there's a roadblock in the way between me and where I want to go. Let's turn the Heelys off. We'll go wide around these things. Wonder if the riot control platforms would shoot him. They should. Beanbags against that guy. Healy's back on. Keep him moving. Go check out the junkyard, then we'll come back down. Zapper zombie. Uh-oh. They put in... Is that the APC? I think that's the mechanized infantry. Nope, it is an APC. So there's a 50 cal. Ah, the grenade launcher. Maybe we can lure him into the area and I can shoot grenades at him. Alright, Heelys off again. So watch the movement rate. This is when I turn my Heelys off. This guy is currently 20 spaces away. Heelys, all I'm doing is leaning down and deactivating the Heelys. He's now 13 away, so we got 7 spaces closer in the time it took me to switch my Heelys. So be very careful with the Heelys. I didn't realize it took that long. Usually worn items don't take that many action points. I mean, I can flip on my headlamp. He's at 11. He's at 8. I actually got a little closer that time than I was expecting. But, let's chop him up. Mutilate 55. Four swings? 4 swings like too many for basic zombies. Hey, Zapper Zombie. Let's pull you into the vehicle. $400. That'll do. So, things to know. Electrical zombies. So, when you're fighting Zapper Zombies or Shock Zombies, anything that's got an electrical shock component, a couple things to be aware of. If you strike a Shock Zombie, you get zapped. So, if they strike you, you get zapped. The important part, though, is if you are wearing gloves that have at least 95% coverage and do not conduct electricity, they will protect you from you striking the zombie. You won't get zapped back. So I'm using a kukri, which normally would conduct electricity. This item conducts electricity. So if I was not wearing gloves and I struck the zapper zombie, I would get shocked each time I struck it. I'd also get shocked when it hit me, but for this conversation, we're just talking about my hitting it. So make sure you're wearing gloves with at least 95% coverage and does not conduct electricity. You can protect yourself from the shockback effect when you strike them with a ferrous item that conducts electricity. It's important. Even something as lowly as light gloves, which you find all over the place, has 95% and does not conduct electricity. So at least pick up light gloves. You'll find them in just about every house. Make sure you're wearing at least that, just in case you do run across this kind of a situation. So this is about the best tactical situation I could have against this kind of an enemy. Because I'm going to force him to move onto a 400 movement cost space. That means I'm going to get 3 or 4 free swings because he has to be able to pay that full amount before he gets another action. So he'll step into it, and he'll still owe about 310 points. The next round, he'll be given his 90 or 100 points. He'll pay another portion of that, until he finally pays it all off. So I'll get multiple swings at him before he gets to do anything. And by being insulated against it, we should have no problem dropping this guy with no danger. Let's see if it works out that way. Sometimes it doesn't. So, strike number 1, and he's already almost dead. So, what can, in other circumstances, be a hairy fight? No danger whatsoever. Just by knowing 2 important things. The electrical protection and the movement cost, which is listed right here when I point at it. Movement cost 400 vehicle spaces. Little things like that will help you out quite a bit. You got ammo in that grenade launcher? 14! What's my launcher skill? Launcher skill is 0, usually. Launcher 0, right there. Plus, I'd have a line of sight problem to be able to see it. Oh, they're not going to let me do it anyway. Grab items, remember, examine. Not letting me go to a fire mode. So it's not letting me grab and use the grenade launcher anyway. I can reload and unload it, but I can't actually fire from it. And since we can't use the vehicle menu because of our Wayfarer trait, I can turn the camera system on so I can see. Oh, maybe I can. There you go. I just can't start it up. I'm not actually going to try to fire it. Alright, so that's another opportunity like I talked about earlier. You can find a vehicle with a 50 cal, just hop in and wait for the relentless Hulk to show up, and a couple shots with a 50 cal, and down he goes. So just go locate yourself an APC or a mechanized armored carrier. So, why is Junkyards one of my favorite vehicles? Favorite locations, not vehicles. Let me show you why. Hey, look, it's a welding cart. Almost, not quite every, but almost every one of these I've seen. I think we've seen one example where it was not there. It's a welding cart with a full welding rig ready to go. So you don't have to go through that whole big old hassle of trying to craft makeshift welders and then combine those and combine and so on. You can just come here, rip out the welding rig off the cart, install it in your vehicle, and off you go. And then also, a hand jack. Got a telescopic crane. Sometimes it has the engine crane, sometimes it'll have the hand jack, sometimes it'll have both. But usually what I'm hoping for is an engine crane and a welding cart combo. They're almost always here. Jerry can. Hey, jerry can with gas. More Molotovs. I don't have any bottles now, though. Reset, welding tanks, polisher. But this is the reason you come here. These 2 items are almost guaranteed. And if you need, you know, vehicle parts or whatever, it's okay for that too. I was kind of surprised there were any zombies. Usually it's not too many zombies in this location. If you need storage batteries for your welding rig you just installed in your car, usually there's at least 1 or 2 solar vehicles back here. So yeah, good stuff. Very, very, very high opportunity place. Anytime I see a junkyard early in one of my runs, I get pretty excited. Such critical items to get into a vehicle. Yeah, it's an okay base location. I mean, you can take those two things with you, so... But you've got a garage that you could park cars into. It's a little tough getting it around these corners to get it parked in here. But wouldn't be my first choice, but it's a little light on some other raw materials. It's okay. Alright, shall we... Where shall we hang out waiting for the Hulk again? My opportunities to get away from it are going to be a lot worse here. We're probably just going to end up dying. And knowing what I now know, I guess the challenge from here is to try to kill it in melee. It's the one thing we haven't done, and the only thing that would make the challenge going forward continue to be interesting, because I've already come up with multiple ways I could kill it, or completely avoid it otherwise. So... do I think it's possible we could get this character to a position where he could kill that thing in melee? Or not. It would take me a really long time to go either the mutation or cybernetics, the CBM routes, to increase his abilities. And I don't think just getting a melee weapon that matches the martial arts would be enough. Drugs? No, not even close. Drugs don't do what they used to do. They used to be a lot stronger in their effects, but they've all been tapered way back. They have very, very little actual effects. Now, if I found, like, RivTech combat drugs, that would help, but the chances I'm going to come across that is vanishingly small. The big problem, the overwhelming problem with melee killing this guy is the super punches. As soon as he lands a super punch, he's going to be back to full health by the time you can engage him again. Now, if it doesn't knock you down like the first punch he landed on me did, and I just skid along the grass and I can immediately charge him, possibly I could get back to him before he heals back to full. And I didn't really get a good feel for how often the timer on his super punch happens. So... This location also doesn't afford me the opportunities like we had at the mansion for me to just evade. And since now we know that he's faster than me without stamina use. But yeah, so the overwhelming problem is going to be that regen rate. Just like any of the high regen rate enemies. You tend to have to knock those things down with ranged fire, and any of the high caliber, high fire rate weapons will usually do it. Melee takes a lot of specialized gear or other combat enhancers, and I just can't think of anything this guy would be able to do without serious upgrades. We're talking on the order of like hydraulic muscles to jack our strength up a huge amount. What else? They've removed so many CBMs now that I used to use for these kinds of things. I'm not sure what I could even find to really make a big difference. The high power wacky stuff is mostly gone from the game. Mutations haven't been hit with the nerf bat as much as the CBMs have. Plus the whole going to find the CBMs now is a lot harder. Would polearm plus deep pit be cheating? The problem is the amount of time it takes you to swing the polearm. I mean, it sounds great when you hit for 100 or whatever, but when it takes you 300 action points to actually swing that thing, he's going to heal the 100 in between your swings. I don't know that you could actually get ahead of the regen curve by swinging such a heavy weapon. The fact that he wouldn't be able to hit you back is mostly irrelevant. You just can't get past the regen rate. Yeah, the Kukri's fine, but he's got enough armor that we're only doing 8 or 10 points a swing, and that's not nearly enough. I'd need to find out what we could do with a full-on katana with the martial art. That would change the ratio quite a bit. So for a complete test of this particular character's abilities, we really would need to get a hold of a katana. That would probably be the best weapon. I don't think the Nord would work. I think the Nord's too slow. Oh, that's brawling. So I think the Nord's, or the Nodachi, not the Nord. I think the Nodachi's too heavy. So the Katana is probably the best choice. A full steel Nodachi is one of the heavy hitters, 44 and 6 with a +2, but it's 164 moves. And none of this stuff is going to stop his regen ability. The knockback is actually bad, because then you're forced to move forward to re-engage. You don't want to knock back, so the brutal strike actually works against you. You don't care about the stun. I mean, it helps to keep him from hitting you for a round, but that's not really your concern. Rapid strike does less damage, even though it hits faster. And wide attack is irrelevant. So, yeah, I don't think the Nodachi would help. The Katana is running less base cut damage, but it's faster. Only has rapid strike. So, I don't know. I'm not sure even with these that you would be able to do it in melee. I think he might be too tough for melee kills. It's probably possible with certain combinations, certain character types. I know the Cybernetic Assassin could probably do it, but I mean, he's running around with high-end cybers and a mono blade and martial arts and all that kind of stuff. Is rapid strike a net loss versus armored targets? Well, it's not, the equation's not quite that simple, but because you've got armor, plus you've got the regen rate you're dealing with, and a few other things. I'm also unsure if this guy has been modified for the weak point system. I'm still not 100% that the hits we were doing earlier where it said we were hitting the eye wasn't just considered a headshot under the old system, where you get a great hit versus a normal hit. I'm not sure. Fire pit? Yeah, the Molotov would have helped answer that question. If we were able to get some Molotovs down and have them walk through them, we could see what the fire did. But short of having him standing in the fire while you're meleeing him from one step outside the fire, that would be the best circumstance. Get some bleed on him from range, then have him step into the Molotov zone while you're meleeing him from adjacent. Problem, then he'll super punch you, and then he'll follow you up, and he'll be out of the Molotovs at that point. And then you either have to maneuver him back in again, and he'll be fully healed by the time he goes back in. It gets tricky. It's tricky. Super high regen things are always tricky. It comes down to burst damage. That's basically the story. I mean, just like in lots of other games and MMOs and card games and so on, the varying damage over time versus burst damage versus armor ratings, it's a shifting formula you have to kind of be aware of and know and understand. And if you can't apply enough burst damage within a short enough period of time, you'll just never overcome the regen rate. Just will never happen. So you'll always end up losing. So that's what makes it tricky, is just the regen rate is the worst. Otherwise, he's not too impressive. The regen rate is what makes him dangerous. And the tracking ability, of course. But I thought he was going to be a lot worse in that regard. I thought he was going to have some other abilities. If he has any others, I haven't detected them. He doesn't have long arms. He doesn't have electrical or acid or any of the other crazy secondary abilities. So it's just basically a straight up Hulk with regen who knows where you're at. Even the speed seems a little slower than a Hulk. A Hulk definitely moves faster than that guy's moving. So he's even slower than a Hulk. So the big danger is just when he first encounters you, where you're at and what your circumstances are. I mean, if you're in the middle of a base with stuff scattered around and not really ready for him, which I'm not sure why you would not be ready for him if you're playing the scenario. But, yeah, I don't know. Just wait until you wake up by him hitting you. Yeah, it's the gentle love tap where he wakes you up by punching you through a couple of walls. That's the fun part. Let's go ahead and test him showing up in an area like this, though. I'm curious if he'll be allowed to see me if I just stand here in the open. So it's 13:30. I wonder, does he only use his overworld map movement when you're sleeping? It's felt like that's what's happened so far, but it's hard to tell without me doing some outdoors testing. So I'm just going to stand around out here outside and see if he shows up. So let's wait 6 hours. 6 hours. We're going to get pretty hungry and thirsty. So, no sign of him so far. We'll have some of our sports drink. And some more butter. Can't get enough of the butter. Now the problem's going to be I'm going to lose sight of him in the dark. I don't know his night vision capability yet either. That's one of the other things I don't know. He can teleport into the basement? Well, we tested him going upstairs and he never managed that. Even while I was sleeping and spending a bunch of time upstairs. He never went upstairs. I'd be surprised if he would teleport into a basement. The game doesn't usually work that way. Usually that kind of circumstance, when things appear in basements, it's them using the stairs, but the stairs not being aligned properly, and so they get to bypass doors and stuff in between the upstairs point and the downstairs point that a player would have to transition. And or there's actually a hole above that you can't see, and they just drop down the hole into the basement. That's how wander spawns or wandering hordes used to get blamed a lot for zombies appearing in basements, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the wandering hordes. It was the transition of stairs and holes in the roof that they would drop through that was causing those 99% of the time. Wander spawns, as far as I'm aware, can't transition Z levels. I guess we could just keep standing here. We're gonna get tired and I got nowhere to sleep. Sleep in a vehicle, I guess. Till he punches us. Let's wait another hour. Full dark. Not quite full dark, because we've got quite a bit of night vision still. This thing is whole, but once I go in, I won't be able to get out again. Oh, never mind, there is a way out. Alright, let's just, we'll stand here. Whichever direction he shows up from, if he comes in through that door, we can go out here, and versa versa. And or I'll take a nap, and he'll wake me up by punching me into an armored wall. I'm sure that won't hurt at all. Wait. Okay, I guess we'll just sleep in a chair until he shows up and punches me into a wall again. I'd really like to stay awake and see if he shows up, but nah, let's do the experiment. I don't have a blanket. Temperature should be okay. I fully expect this to go horribly right here. We'll probably die right here inside this thing. Because as soon as he does land a big hit on me that pushes me into a wall, we're not going to be able to get away from him after that. So, expect death imminently. Ah, we got woke up. I wonder if that's the dog or if that's him. It's 2:30 in the morning. There was that hound walking around. I'm gonna bet it's him. Control electronics. Turn on camera system. Still can't see. I got no lights. Control electronics. Turn on dome lights. Yeah, that just lit me up. Turn on headlights. Doesn't help. Alright, is that him? Yep. Alright, so he's pretty good about finding me, but so far, every circumstance I've been asleep, and then he's made his presence known. So, I'm gonna go to run mode and get out of the vehicle. Close the door. And technically, I should go this direction. Whoops, he's out. He's already chasing me. So is he following my scent trail, or is he... Here's the problem. So I can't take the time to activate the Heelys, because he'll get to me before the Heelys activate with an 800 and some action point cost. Maybe I'm far enough away to get the Heelys on. So if I start sprinting now, if I don't make absolutely sure I get far enough away to lose him or get something between me and him, then he'll definitely catch me and we'll be dead. Yeah, there was a hole in the wall. We could go in and out. I never go into a place when I'm waiting for an encounter like that without having 2 exit points. That way, wherever he came from, I could go out the other way. So we set that up on purpose. But I don't have an option. I don't have any animals other than that one dog wherever it went to try to distract him. And he's definitely faster than me with this just straight up movement. So he's going to catch me at this rate. So we have to go to run mode. I have to get at least a little distance on him. I don't want to burn too much stamina because our cost to move is going up. Then I have to activate the Heelys. Then I have to get moving. Alright, I can't hear him. Where was that roadblock? Am I coming up on the... No, the roadblock was up here. Alright, so we successfully escaped him with minimal assistance from the environment. We definitely got a head start with the APC that we had to move into. But we were able to disengage again. I think we're out of the reality bubble range of where he was at. I'd like to get to a house quietly, get inside, try to sleep the rest of the night. We're not tired now. Never mind. I could exercise. Maybe I can get tired enough if I exercise. Then we're in a town. Turn the Heelys off before I forget. Let's see if we can get to one of these houses quietly. Whoops. So much for the quiet part. There's usually more than one doggy. Oh, actually, I can climb on the roof. Run mode. Ignore. Oh, I gotta climb to get to that. Dang it. Dang it. Thought I could step over while I was on here, but no, I have to climb to that. He's gonna get to me and gnaw on me. He might not get through the chain armor though, and then we can step up on the roof. So let's go ahead and do it. Uh-oh, you're not gonna let me climb here? Up. East. Alright. So we didn't actually use the drain pipe downspout, we used the fence to get up onto the roof. If you're not aware, you can stand on a fence, climb on it, and then you can climb up on the roof completely safely. 0 chance that you'll fall down. So even though we're heavily encumbered and heavy weight, we did not fall down because there was no check made. So, get an option or an opportunity, just use that, use a fence to get up onto a building. Guess I could spend my time up here while we wait. I won't be able to sleep up here very well, or at all. Any other drain pipes? There's the other fence. We could go down that fence to get off the roof safely. I think there's definitely more than one dog down there. They're gonna start trashing the place. What to do, what to do? No museums. The only thing I saw that I remember in this town was way down here. There's a hunting supply store. So we could try to come out, work our way around, and try to get into the hunting supply store. I'd need a way of getting through the wall, so I'd need to make a home wrecker or something, which I don't have any fab. And I don't have the materials with me, and it's really heavy. Don't need any skill. Alright. We just need long strings, which are easy, chunks of steel easy, planks easy. So I mean, the parts are easy. That gets us a 35 bash weapon with our strength. We'd be able to go through the wall, no problem. So we could do it. And I could wait until I get down to here to make the home wrecker and head in. The reason we would try to do that would be to get the night vision goggles, of course. That would help out quite a bit. But yeah, no antique stores that I can see, no museums. We got chainmail at the last mansion. But no katana. Nothing over at that town I care about either. I could just drop down and... I don't know how many dogs there are. I'm worried there's a whole bunch of them. Let's have some bacon. Bacon makes everything better. Bacon and a yogurt. You're not supposed to know where I'm at. Maybe they smell me. No, I don't think it goes over Z levels. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, 2 Rottweilers so far. We'll just ignore them. Wouldn't mind getting into a basement. Have